And we will have a nice giveaway at our 1,000th.
This video, we're going to talk about some of the hottest books we're looking at for the week of July 19th.
And stay tuned as I trash Matt's pick of the week.
And the first book on our list is Deadpool Batter Blood #2. Now, this is the first appearance of Arcada and the first full appearance of Shatterstorm, who cameoed in issue #1. So this is a dual threat book.
Yep, and as you remember, we talked about that book previously with her cameo. She finally is in her full appearance here, and she is on the cover with Deadpool. Cool looking book, definitely a must-have for this week.
Yeah, so these Deadpool covers have been sensational. Let's take a look at some of the variants here. There's 2 of them, and in particular, we're looking at this Liefeld variant.
That's the book I would get this week, the Liefeld variant. It has her first appearance directly on the cover there. That's the book I would get for this Deadpool pick of this week.
Yeah, so once again, like we said, a dual threat. There's 2 things going on, but the significant thing that we really like about this book is that first full appearance of Shatterstorm. We think that is the selling point of this book.
Yeah, and like I said, she's on the cover of the standard cover, but on the Liefeld variant, it's big in center. If she becomes a big character, that will be the book to get.
If you like these videos, please give us a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell and help us get to 1,000 subscribers. We're fast approaching and we're hoping we can get there soon.
Next book for this week is Blade #1. This is the first appearance of Adana, a deadly threat unintentionally released by Blade. Interesting storyline. If you're a Blade fan, this has a first appearance. It's definitely going to be a villain, so keep in mind what we always kind of say is that maybe 80% of the time the villain books never reach the value of the hero books. I mean, there are times when that's not correct, and when like a Magneto or somebody like that, and Harley Quinn, but a lot of times, just for your own reference, the villain books never appreciate or get to the value of some of the hero books in the same lines of these series.
So approach this Blade 1 issue with some caution, like we said. These villains, sometimes they're kind of a flash in the pan, so be careful if you're considering this book. Now let's take a look at some of the variants really quick here. There is quite a few for this week.
Yeah, it looks like Marvel is going to be pushing this book. There's almost 10 variants that we can see on League of Comic Geeks. They all look beautiful. Nothing really stands out to me that says I need to purchase this one, and I don't see any cover that possibly has the first appearance showing on the cover.
And if you're new to collecting comics, make sure you download the Key Collector app. It's a great resource to help you get started. And the third book on our list is Hawkgirl #1. Now, this is the first appearance of Vulpecula. Correct me in the comments if you know how to pronounce this name, but Hawkgirl #1, a first appearance of a new character. And I do like this regular cover. It's got that iconic Hawkgirl on the cover.
Yeah, Hawkgirl, cool character. First appearance, if you're a Hawkgirl fan, this is a book to grab this week.
Let's take a look at League of Comic Geeks. As usual, I see 4 variants. If you're a Hawkgirl fan, definitely consider some of these books, but I think if you're collecting it for the first appearance, possibly skip these covers.
Don't think the new character is on the covers here.
Let us know in the comments if you know anything about this new character.
Next book is another Night Terrors. I mean, DC is really pushing these books. Night Terrors Punchline #1. And this is the first appearance of a Nightmare Realm version of Batgirl. So probably a good storyline. You'll probably have this Nightmare Batgirl battling Punchline.
If you're a DC collector, I'm really excited about these Night Terrors. I mean, there's a bunch of new exciting titles coming out, a bunch of first appearances, and they're involving some of, my favorite characters. We had the Robins, now we got Batgirl, so really, really interesting. And now we're bringing in Punchline, so I'm really excited about this new series. And let's take a look at League of Comic Geeks. A few variants for this issue. Do we see anything interesting here?
Not really. Nothing that I noticed that I'd have to have.
If you've been following our videos, we usually recommend that regular cover, unless, of course, on the variant, that is the one that exclusively has that first appearance on the cover. And the next book on our list is another Night Terrors book, Night Terrors Superman #1. Now, this is the first appearance of the Super Reaper and the introduction of the Nightly Planet.
Now, again, like Matt and I always tell you guys, be careful because DC is really pushing these Night Terror books, so they may be massively overproduced. Not to say that they won't become valuable. There are first appearances in these. If you're a DC purist collecting first appearances, That's why we highlight these books.
This Night Terrors line is kind of reminding me of Marvel's Extreme Venomverse line. They are just cranking out issues and first appearances, so definitely be careful. And let's take a look at some of the variants for this book. I'm seeing 5.
Yeah, it looks like 2 of them have Super Reaper on the cover. I would say the 1 in 50 Dan Mora, and then this one up here, the Matina, cover B, looks like Super Reaper's in the background there. So if you're thinking about grabbing this book, I would go after one of those 2 variants.
Once again, if you're a fan of certain artists or you like a certain theme, then possibly consider some of these variants that we're showing you here.
Next book for July 19th, we have Moon Knight City of the Dead #1. And if you remember in last week's video, we talked about the character who becomes the Scarlet Scarab, and we said that her first appearance of actually being the Scarlet Scarab, the 3rd Scarlet Scarab, would be in this book, Moon Knight City of the Dead #1, which again is the first appearance of the 3rd Scarlet Scarab.
And this basically is a female version inspired by the Moon Knight Disney Plus series.
So let's go to League of Comic Geeks and check out the variant covers. And right off the bat, I see the one that I would grab. It's the Dobby Go variant, and it definitely has the Scarlet Scarab, whose first appearance is in this book, on the cover front and center. So if this is the book that you want this week, that is the cover that I would definitely grab.
Fantastic looking variants, but this one with her on the cover, as Jason said, that's the money book for this issue. And the last book for this week is Extreme Venomverse #5. Now this is another triple threat. 3 first appearances. We have the first appearance of a Venomized Jeff the Land Shark, a first appearance of Keiju Venom, and a first appearance of Major League Venom.
Yeah, these Extreme Venomverses are just pumping out the first appearances. I mean, you almost need to just order the whole line from your comic shop, have them on pre-order. And if you can grab this, for cover price, it's not a bad book to put away and hang on to.
And I have to say, out of all the Extreme Venomverse issues I've seen, this is probably the goofiest one I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny with Jeff the Shark and then a baseball player version of Venom. I mean, this is kind of hilarious.
Yeah, I like this. I would actually pick this one up.
And let's take a look at some of the variants here. Oh, again, Stegman with the same looking variant, 5 issues in a row. Come on.
So for the variant covers, I'm definitely going to get the Momoko variant. She's always hot. Her covers always do well in the secondary market. So again, for this book, I would either get the standard cover, or if you want to spend a little bit more and maybe get some more value out of the book down the line, I believe this Momoko variant is the one to grab.
Yeah, kind of an interesting book because on the regular cover, you have those 3 appearances, but the Peach Momoko variants always do well. So that's a hard one to pass up if you're considering this book.
Me personally, I'm getting the standard cover and the Momoko.
I would definitely skip the Stegman variant. Like I said, I've seen this cover 5 times now already.
And now we're going to move on to the long box pick of the week. So again, we look back at some older issues, kind of give you a hint of something maybe you can grab cheap in the long boxes at your local comic book store. Marvel Secret Invasion #1. It has a cool cover. It's done by Delato. This is the standard cover, Secret Invasion 1. And it's the story arc in which the shape-shifting race of aliens, the Skrulls, have invaded Earth and are impersonating key figures in the Marvel universe. And if you watch the show, that's kind of how the show is heading along. This book is very affordable. I mean, you can get a 9.8 for around $100, and the raw books are varying between $5 and $20 online, and I'm sure they'd be about the same at your local comic book store. So my pick of the week is definitely going to be the Venomverse book. I love that there's 3 first appearances. It's a triple threat book.
Well, Jason took the easy pick, 3 first appearances, so I'm going to go with Deadpool Batter Blood #2.
Very predictable, Matt. You and your Deadpool. Always going with the easy route. Deadpool, Shatterstorm. We'll see. We'll see about this pick.
Let us know in the comments which one of our picks you favor the most. If you like these videos, please give us a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell and help us get to 1,000 subscribers. We're fast approaching and we're hoping we can get there soon.
And we will have a nice giveaway at our 1,000. And when we hit the 1,000 subscriber mark, we will have a big giveaway.
Make sure you join us every Sunday, and we'll see you next week.
MJZ out.